I often see this quote, "More sweat in training, less blood in battle," supposedly attributed to a traditional Japanese saying, but I've never been able to track it down here in Japan. Regardless of the provenance of the quote, the idea is a good one when it comes to rehearsing before presentations. It won't be blood on the floor, hopefully, but if things don't go well, you could see your personal brand torched. Welcome to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gray Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get going into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. Toyota has climbed to global number 2 car maker for last year, overtaking Nissan. Toyota is only about 230,000 units behind Volkswagen for the number 1 spot. Toyota's Lexus brand and their RAV4 sport utility vehicles were behind the growth in results. Nissan was down 5.6% in units produced. In other news, Keidanren, the Japan Business Federation, has called for a review of the practice where industry labour unions seek a uniform rise in base pay. They are recommending that the performances of individual companies and individuals should be reflected in the pay they receive. The Keidanren is also challenging the well-established practice here of automatic wage increases on the basis of employees' age or length of service and employment until retirement. These new ideas are really standard practice everywhere else in the world, but a total revolution here in Japan. The lifetime employment system has been built on these practices, and now the Keidanren, the most conservative business organization, is recommending ending them. This is big news. This is episode number 124, and we are talking about the professional's guide to presentation rehearsal. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Every performance is better when practiced beforehand, and presenting is no different. We don't do it for a multitude of good reasons, none of which really abrogate the need to make the time and put in the effort. We have the time, we just need to allocate it. We are putting ourselves out there when we present, so don't miss it. There's a lot on the line. We do ensure we are a triumph rather than a joke. The way to do that is to practice beforehand. How do we do that? What are some best practices to help us? We cannot start with the slides, which is what most people do when putting their presentation together. Instead, we need to design the whole presentation first. We need to start with the close. Yes, we need to plan how we will finish the talk. What is the one key message we want to get across to our listeners? Getting the whole thing down to one key point is no easy task, but the mental effort to do so will pay big rewards when it comes to ensuring clarity and getting the talk structure correct. When we distill that one point, it becomes the beacon around which we will arrange the preparation of the data and the flow of the talk. We now design the sections of the talk. What are the key points we will make? And what is the evidence we will marshal to sustain the argument in the allotted sections? These should be, flowing together nicely like a good novel. Each point leads seamlessly into the next. We are also going to be introducing personal stories of our successes and failures, and those from highly respected experts to flesh out the points we want to make. Stories are easy to understand and remember, so don't make our audience work hard. Give them the information in story form for maximum effect. So each section has some key point supporting data, has a story format to tell that, and finally we design the opening. Now we break through all the competition for the mind space of our audience. How can we grab their complete attention? How to get them away from those addictive mobile devices hidden under the table. We need to design how we will use our voice in the start in particular, how much volume we will need to gain control of the room. We should avoid reading the presentation. We are going to be aiming at talking to points on the slides or in bullet format in our text or recalling them from memory. This is free form, folks. No harness and no safety net, so it needs practice. What may sound great as text can sound a bit stilted when spoken out aloud. This is important. We must voice the presentation. We can't just mentally run it through our mind as a personal exercise. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become a fully competent and confident presenter, then do the High Impact Presentations course. We are all being judged when we speak, be it in the internal team meeting or in a public environment, be it the big bosses, clients, or an industry audience. Everyone is evaluating us. Don't blow it. Get the best training on the planet. Do the High Impact Presentations course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. Using a mirror, video camera, or a coach are good ideas to get feedback on how we are coming across both visually and verbally. The coach may be a colleague, family member, or a professional. If a colleague or a family member, only ask for 2 pieces of feedback. What am I doing that is good? And what can I do to make it better? Untrained coaches are quick to tell you everything that is wrong in great mind-numbing detail. They will kill your confidence early. So don't allow that to happen. Give them some guidance. Every 5 minutes, we need a change of tempo to keep our audience interested. We need to switch our energy or speed up or down. We need to hit or soften keywords. These crescendos and lulls are not left to random chance. This is all prepared for maximum effect. We need to hear it out aloud to understand how it will sound to our audience. We can't be too strong all the time or we will wear down our audience and lose them. Alternatively, if we are too soft, they are lured away by the internet and are soon gone from us. There is no one there, but we must involve eye contact with all the people in our imaginary audience. We practice looking, left, center, right, close, far. We also need to practice the congruency of our gestures with our words. Match a powerful gesture with a point you want to drive home to give it strength. Expect to do a number of rehearsals, not just one. We need to be having a full rehearsal from start to finish at least 3 times. Now, if it is a 30-minute talk, the time soon starts to add up, so we have to plan for that. Separately, we also need to work particularly hard on just the opening and close. The first impression and the last impression decide our impact. Don't forget to practice the Q&A. Remember, the audience can ask us anything, no matter how rude, off-topic, irrelevant, or impertinent. So we have to be ready to go. We can go from hero to zero, quick smart, if we don't practice answering difficult questions before we go live. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so let's check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I am here as a free resource to help you. So just tell me how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my other weekly shows for podcasts. Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesdays for the Presentations Japan series. Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series. And Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series. Every Friday we have the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. You get all of these wherever you have your podcasts. Also on Fridays I release my other TV show, the Japan Business Mastery Show on YouTube. In episode number 125, we are talking about sad questions from salespeople. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me here for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we've only got one direction in mind for you and your business success, and that is up.